The point of this video today is I kind of grabbed this idea off of Tim Thibodeau. I will link his I'm Not Special video down in the description box below if you want to check it out. But basically the point is, the sooner you can find out that you are not above everybody else, that's the better off you're going to be in life. That's not, it's like, if somebody squats over 1,000 pounds, it doesn't matter who the strongest man in the world is. Everybody's going to have problems at the end of the day, whether it be family, money, balance. Just balancing the gym, life, and friends all together. That's basically what I'm going to be explaining, what I went through from 6th grade all the way until now. So it all started out in 6th grade when I went from a public school to a private school. Since I graduated 5th grade, if you want to call it graduated, it's just you went from 5th grade to 6th grade. I had to move schools because my school only went up to 5th grade, so I literally moved to the school right next door, which was a Catholic school. First time being in a Catholic school and a private school, which is basically the same thing. And the workload was definitely a lot harder because public schools is more relaxed in the work, to say the least, and going to a private school, everything which is a lot harder. I failed 4 out of 7 classes, 4 or 5 out of 7 classes. I had to repeat 6th grade. The classmates that I had were just absolutely awful. They picked on me for stupid little things, just like kids do. This happened, this bullying quote unquote, it happened all the way throughout high school, which I'll get to later. They picked on me for just stupid stuff. I can't remember half the stuff, but one of the main points was that I stuttered. If you guys catch it in some of the videos, when I'm really talking to the camera, it really doesn't happen that often. But when I'm just like talking to like my family and friends, it happens quite frequently, which is really annoying. But yeah, so I got picked on for that throughout all of middle school, all of high school. So at the end of 6th grade, I found out I had to repeat it. So coming back in my 2nd year of 6th grade, I got picked on for failing my 1st year of 6th grade, basically. But the class that I was in was definitely a lot better, to say the least. I got along with a lot more kids. I had a lot more friends than I did in my 1st year of 6th grade, but the kids that I talked to in 6th grade that made fun of me, I actually became best friends with them in high school, and I'll go into that later. So 6th grade went good, went on to 7th grade, 7th and 8th grade, which went really good also. The bullying kind of died down like in 6th or 7th and 8th grade, so it really wasn't that bad. But then we move on to high school. High school is just brutal. Kids make fun of you for literally anything they could think of. They make stupid jokes that make no sense at all. And keep in mind, freshman year I was not lifting at this point, so I was just like kind of keeping it all in, like being angry inside, but I really wasn't speaking it until later on, like junior year, senior year. So freshman year came along, I really didn't have any friends. I had one friend, his name was Aaron, which I still keep in touch with to this day. I actually just hung out with him a few days ago. So freshman year comes around, I only had one friend, Aaron. I hung around with 6 or 7 other kids. I was the only white kid in the group that hung out. The rest were, well, Aaron is like Indian, I think. I don't know. Nobody actually knows what he is. And then everybody else was black, basically. So everybody was probably thinking, what is this white kid doing with all these black kids? So nobody ever really said anything to me about it, but it's like, it's just, I know people are gonna think it since I'm the only white kid hanging out with all the black kids, and it was a black majority school. It was probably like 70-30 for the white and the black kids, percentage wise. So it was a pretty, like on the majority side, and I was on the minority, if you want to say that. So freshman year was just, it wasn't that bad. I got into my first fight, I lost like crazy, and I still get picked on it. Just get teased on it from like Steve and Aaron to this day. But it's whatever. I learned to just brush off the hate and whatever, and here we're going to sophomore year. So sophomore year is when I really basically kicked those friends that I was hanging out with from freshman year, kick them out, and I actually started hanging out with the kids that were actually making fun of me in 6th grade because we got closer. I started having a few classes with them. They were juniors at this point, and I was a sophomore, despite being the same age. So this is the year where I finally got into the gym. Those 3 friends, Anthony, which I still keep in touch with, not as much as I should, Elijah, who is currently in prison, and Vinny, who I was friends with in high school, but then once he graduated, I kind of just kicked him out also due to his friend selection. I just didn't like the crowd that he was hanging with, so I was like, I'm not going to deal with that, see you later. And I haven't talked to him since, I think, my junior year. So that's when I got into to the gym. I was just kind of doing whatever their program was. It was the 4 of us, so it kind of wasn't serious in the gym. It was more like yeah, let's go. Let's just get fit together and lift. Basically, is how it was. About a year or so in, I actually started following and structuring my own program, which I probably should have jumped on a structured program instead of my program, which was like, I think it was a 5-day program. I'm not quite sure. It's more of a bodybuilding routine because I didn't get into powerlifting until I think like mid-junior year is when I finally made my transition from bodybuilding to powerlifting. So sophomore year, it really wasn't that good to be honest with you. I hung around with those three friends basically every night after school, and then my friend Aaron, he actually transferred schools for some reason or another. I think it was because of money, because private school is expensive as hell, to say the least. So he transferred. I was hanging around with those 6-7 kids that I really didn't like anyways, because I didn't want to be that one kid just sitting alone at lunch or sitting by a table by himself. But senior year, that really changed, which I'll get to later. So sophomore year was absolutely awful. Junior year, that kid Aaron actually came back for junior and senior year, so that was good. Junior year is actually when I started talking to Steve also, so it was me, Aaron, and Steve, just kind of the three of us hanging out. We had a few classes together, which was good. This is when I actually started bringing my own lunch to school, because this is when I was getting really serious about powerlifting, and I was trying to put on size, basically. So I think I was around 170 at this time, and then towards the end of my senior year, I think I was around 195 or so. So I was basically following a diet, not really a diet per se, I was just counting macros, following that, hitting everything I had to, hitting my calories, and just basically bringing my own food to lunch, because that's what you have to do when you're going to be serious about a sport like I was with powerlifting, like I still currently am. So junior year really is when I started fighting back, really fighting, quote unquote, just really talking back to these kids that were making fun of me for the stuttering, and I'm starting to go bald. I don't know why. For some reason they were making fun of that, so I had to. And junior year is when they really started to click in their minds that I was lifting pretty heavy, but like to me it really wasn't that heavy. But to them, having somebody squatting mid 300s as a junior, even though kids that I see on the internet are ridiculously stronger than me, that are like 17 years old, but to them, having somebody squat mid 300s in high school is mind-boggling to them, to say the least. So that's when they stopped saying stuff to my face and started saying it behind my back. And I remember in English class, they would sit behind me, and I would hear them chit-chatting, and then Aaron would say, like, whisper to me, because he sat right behind me, and he would just tell me the stuff that they were saying, and I knew that I could hear them. They think that they're being sly, but they're really not. They're just a bunch of idiots is what they are. Anyways, junior year went by, like, whatever. I was kind of keeping to myself between, like, when I wasn't with Steve or Aaron. I was kind of sitting by myself, not really minding my own business. I really didn't care at that point, because I knew I only had about a year and a half left in high school, so I was on my phone all the time. I had my headphones in, walking around the school. I didn't really care, because none of the teachers said anything to me. So I was like, why should I stop if the teachers aren't saying anything? So senior year came along, is when I really just kept myself, like I said, when I wasn't with Steve or Aaron, I just had my headphones in. Basically, when I wasn't with them, when I was at lunch, I had them in. When I was in study hall, I had them in. Basically, whenever I was in the cafe, I had my headphones in, because I didn't want to be bothered by anybody. I hated everybody in my high school. So, senior year, the bullying was the quote-unquote, again, bullying, because it's not like I was getting physically, it was just mentally abused, really, if you want to say abused. But senior year went by very, very, very fast. I think I only had about 3 or 4 classes that whole year. So my senior year is very easy, to say the least. It just, I just wanted to fight every single kid throughout the whole 4 years, because at this point I was at my peak for my strength, really. I think I graduated with my 380 squat. No, I hit 380 after I graduated. So it was still a 360 squat, 460 dead, and I think a 270 bench, 275 bench at this time. So I was pretty strong. I was probably the strongest in the school, which I was very proud of. And I had bigger kids. I had bigger kids, but not bigger muscle-wise, bigger fat-wise. They were saying, "Oh yeah, I'm stronger than him." Then people come up to me saying, "Oh yeah, so and so is stronger than you." He says, "Yeah, right." And somebody one of the teachers that goes to the gym, I actually talked to him, and he said that the kid pulled 460 and got into his knees, then hitched it, which it doesn't count really. If you hitch anything, it's not gonna count with me. So whatever. I kind of brushed it off. I knew in my head I was the strongest one in the school, and I could most likely take on anybody in a fight, since I was the oldest one in the school and I was the strongest one in the school. So I had a lot of confidence going into my senior year about if anybody messed with me, I would say something back, and I would keep it to myself when I had to keep it to myself, because I didn't want to get into any altercations. Because like I said, freshman year I did get in a fight. I did get suspended for I think 5 days or so. I had a huge black eye in my eye. It was absolutely awful. And I was on I forget what it was called, but it was like basically probation. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm basically on probation all sophomore year. So if I got into another fight, I was basically kicked out of the school. So I was really on my best behavior sophomore year, and I just kept it going throughout junior and senior year. My grades progressively got better, because once I got more focused in the gym, I really liked my life organized, and I had a schedule. That's just like how my school was. I did my homework in school whenever I had a chance to and study hall. I wouldn't just look at my phone the whole time and study hall unless I had my work done. Because when I got home from the gym, it was like 5, 6 o'clock by the time I got home from the gym. Because I came home from school at 2 o'clock. I went straight to the gym, came home 8, and it would be like 7 o'clock by the time I'm all ready and done. And I really didn't feel like doing homework at that point, so I did the majority of it in school. This is going to wrap up the video. Hope you guys did enjoy my story. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.